This week is all about floors. Floors, new floors, old floors, fixing floors, and tearing out floors. The kitchen, eat-in area, all brand new flooring. And we'll get into why here in a little bit. The front bedroom, new floor. Back bedroom, new floor. Oh. Yep, primary suite, new floor as well. The shop space is clean and organized, and there's no more random pipes sticking up out of the floor, and there's no more rotted sections. It's all fixed and de-nailed. That's the hardest part. De-nailing this stuff is brutal. And it took very minimal direction from me to get Bentley. Come down here, strip the top 2 layers off, and then assess the damage. And he did. And we came up with a work plan to fix all the problems, and he fixed them. Freaking awesome. I've been chugging orange juice like it's my job. The other thing in the last few weeks, I've been sick a bunch. I've had all kinds of issues. Ugh. I think my body is finally telling me that I've been pushing too hard for too long. And it says, that's enough! You need to take a break. And what do I say to that? Drink more orange juice. It'll be fine. Now I know it's been a few weeks since I've posted an update video on Frankie here. And that's because honestly, it's just been non-stop flooring. We'll get into why that happened here in a little bit. I couldn't see putting out a video week after week of me laying floors. Now, another thing did happen that I am, saving until the very end to show you all what I'm doing with the fireplace. Now, I did a fair bit of work on it as well in the last couple of weeks. So that's coming right along, pretty exciting. I'm really digging the way it's turning out. We have a major change here at Frankie that we'll get into. So the flooring. I was talking to everyone and their brother about getting some more flooring for this project, and I reached out to a buddy of mine. I was telling him about it. He said, hey man, there's a mill in Vermont that has a traditional maple floor that you can get. And so I called this guy up, and he says, yeah, I've got a pile of it, but we're going out of business. He's been in the business. He personally has been in that business for 60 years. The mill's been running for 154 years, and it's going under. For whatever reason, everything from labor shortages to not having someone take it over, and he's had enough. But the good news is he had a pile of the floor that I needed. Number 2 maple, 2 1/4 wide, which is as close as you can possibly get to the original floor that was here. And so I told him I was looking for roughly 650 square feet, and he sold me an entire lot that he had because he didn't want to break it up and deal with a small amount left over. And yeah, so I bought the whole lot. He sold it to me for an amazing price. I'm so sad that he's going out of business. Because you can't touch it for that. You just can't. So I bought everything, had to go, it's about 2.5 hour drive from here to get there, load up, and come back. And old Ace, man, it did it, but it wasn't happy about that much weight. That's a lot of weight for a Tundra. It was fine. I aired up my airbags, I took my time driving. You could tell he had that much weight on there. Then brought it back, had plenty of time to climatize it while Bentley and I did all sorts of other stuff. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing how much more is getting done by having someone here that, he's not a career carpenter, right? He he's been working for my friend on summers and worked for a previous employer on summers as well. And when you do that, you tend to get the lackey jobs, sweep this, poly that, sand that. And he's grateful to do whatever you throw at him. And this guy is smart. He is very capable. And if he chooses whatever career path he chooses, he will be successful at it. And it's been an absolute joy. You show him once, he's got it. He sees a gap, he fills it. It's self-motivated. It has been amazing to work with this guy. And it sounds like I might have him for another 2 weeks, which is awesome, which means we can get the floors completely refinished and start hanging trim and all that. So Bentley and I have some serious things to talk about here. One is that I've been holding out some information for you guys. And that is, I've hired Bentley full time. No, that's not true. His boss would hunt me down if I did. So, but seriously, there's been a development here at Frankie, and that is, we sold her. She is sold. And as you can see, we're sitting in the primary suite, and underneath us is a brand new maple floor that Bentley and I have installed. And that's because the customer who purchased the house has made a bunch of changes, and that is being one of them. And while we're sitting here taking a little bit of a snack time, I thought we could chat about Bentley as well. So Bentley, what is your current career path?
My current path is I'm kind of going down the architecture road. I'm currently in my final year of architecture school to get my bachelor's. After that, I'm kind of looking for internship opportunities, either local or somewhere else. But in the meantime, I have been mainly focusing on just carpentry and getting oriented with how building with tolerance, designing with tolerance has been a really big thing that I've been trying to tackle, as well as just understanding both the labor and the fine details that go into everything in construction.
What do you mean by building with tolerance?
In a lot of my studio classes where we're told to design a building, a church, some place, a lot of people have been struggling with, at least my classmates have been struggling with, not making sure everything has to fit within a fraction So if one thing is off, it throws off the rest of the building. So basically being able to design with the idea that things shrink and expand. Sometimes some things don't fit the way you necessarily thought they would on paper. And being smart enough just to design with the idea that there is going to be some flex in between how all this goes together.
On my side of the fence, when I receive a set of plans from an architect, I'll do what's called closeout. And I will take the space and make sure the thickness of the walls and the placement of the doors and the plumbing all fit within the framing and or guidelines of the building itself. So it's kind of what he's talking about. Because by the time I see a set of plans, what he has done should already be done. And I shouldn't have to worry about closeout, but I can tell you that far too many designers out there don't understand what closeout means. And they'll design a wall that is paper thin, and now my plumbing doesn't work, or the door layout or window doesn't work. So what Bentley's doing is getting the experience to understand how important that very step is. And by coming into the carpentry world, he is setting himself up to be a much more valuable architect because he has the real life experience of putting something together that was designed by somebody else.
That's the thought, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't applaud him more than I am already than to take this step. It will, once he gets established, he gets a reputation, and the builders understand that what he does will work. Yeah, his reputation is going to just skyrocket. Yeah. So if any architects are out there that are interested in an apprenticeship from a young man who is very eager to learn from you and from the builders around you, then I would hate to lose him, even in the area, but I would totally applaud it and support it.
Oh yeah. So I mean, you need those connections.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're not in the Saranac Lake area, don't worry about it. Reach out to me and I'll hook you up with Bentley. I'll probably have like time lapses when I name time.
That point up here will be me.
What's that?
That point up here will be me.
Sure.
I've always wondered about that when you're filming and editing. You have to like point up in air spaces and check out this, check out lake here.
Yeah. So any of you that have been watching and excited about this project hitting the market and is a little sad about the fact that she's already sold, I understand. And honestly, this is not the path that I wanted to take. I did not want to sell it until she was finished, but my hand was forced. And I mean, everyone knows that the cost of construction has skyrocketed. And before COVID, this project was doable. I could get out of it and be okay and not have to put, the farm into it. During COVID, the costs of materials have just it's been brutal. All the subcontractor prices have skyrocketed and, my prices have gone way up. My labor rates have gone up. And I mean, with that said, like I haven't pulled a check, a consistent check in a year and a half, has it been? So you know where I'm going with this. The money is gone. The loan amount is gone. I was at the bank and there's nothing. There's nothing to be done. There's nothing to be had. And we saw that coming. And that is why we put it on the market, with the hope that someone had the vision and the ability to see the property for what it is and where it will be. And if we didn't find a buyer up to this point, we were gonna have to shut the job down and go work for customers and just bleed money out in interest rates and all of that and just stay afloat until I could build up enough equity to come back. I didn't like that idea. My wife and I talked about it and we decided that putting it on the market was the best option that we had. We put it on the market and there's a ton of interest. I mean, within 12 hours of posting the house, we had someone here looking at it. And we had several people looking at it multiple times. And people from out of town looking to schedule appointments to come here. And they sent friends or relatives over to look at it. And, you know, people just stopping. Like that first week was brutal. It was brutal. I mean, I didn't get anything done. It was awful. People just constantly stopping, which is great. I mean, it shows that the market is desperate for housing up here. And then the buyers who bought it, man, it's a perfect scenario. They don't need a yard. And that's what was the biggest problem people had, is there's not enough yard for kids or dogs. And I know that they're gonna love this house as much as I loved bringing it back from the dead. And it's just, everything's working out perfectly. And then having them do these upgrades with the wood floors, you know, I'm here, I'm willing to do it. It is extending my timeline, but with Bentley being available and with these folks coming in, it just, everything lined up, you know? If it's meant to be, it will work. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I mean, there's some other changes that they want to make that I don't know if I can get to right now, which means we get to come back and check Frankie out again. Any of you out there that was hoping to maybe purchase Frankie, I do deeply apologize. Maybe there'll be another one. I don't know at this point. But for now, we're gonna get Frankie done. We're gonna go work for some customers and then see where the cookie crumbles. I'm still really focused on the mission of being able to supply housing at a reasonable rate for people who live here. And I've joined an organization that is dedicated to that mission. And I hope to be able to fulfill my desire to do that through that organization. Because this YouTube thing, it didn't work. I'm not giving up on it. Don't get me wrong. I understand that YouTube is a long haul and that we need to just keep plowing through and find ways of being able to produce videos and get them out and be consistent. But right now I'm in the thick of it, and it's either my family or you, and I need to take care of my family right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you guys want to see the customer work, I have been telling my customers that I will be videoing it, and no one's scoffed at that yet. So that's kind of cool. And I'll take you along. And oh, speaking of that, so this coming week, I mean, if you can't tell, I am getting very close to refinishing the floors, or finishing the new floors, that is. And if that's something you guys want to see, throw a comment in, down below, and we can, I can film all that and show you my techniques behind it. YouTube is full of all kinds of floor refinishers, and there's some professionals out there who do it for a living, and there's some DIYers who claim to be professionals. That's always fun. And so I'll show you, my process. I didn't think there was a need for another DIY, but take you along for the journey at least. But it'll be another flooring video. And because it takes time. It takes time, folks. It takes time. All right. Well, I think I've jabbered enough for this episode. It's a lot less than my normal style of video of showing you the ins and outs of things, but it's flooring, folks. There's not much to it. This is Terry. She's the one who loaned me the flooring stapler, and I have something for her.
All right. Sweet.
High Peaks home sweatshirt.
All right. I will wear it with pride.
Perfect.
For sure.
Julia will recognize it.
All right.
Well, I can't thank you enough, especially doing the extra flooring. That was awesome.
Good. My pleasure.
Yeah. And now I've heard about a used one for sale that I'm going to snag up.
Oh, good. Very good.
Thanks.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you for stopping by High Peaks Home.